You're welcome back from that short break. This is still the Gavel. Now, what has actually been done to the Electoral Amendment Bill? And what of the budget for the 2019 election? Well, let's find out in this report.
The total amount of 242,445,322,600 naira.
Senate President Bukola Saraki reading a communication from President Muhammadu Buhari requesting for the total sum of 242.45 billion naira for the 2019 election budget as plenary resumes on Wednesday. On the request of the chairman of the Appropriation Committee, the Senate President excused the committee from plenary to conclude its work and report to the House the following day. The Red Chambers also received the bill for an act to amend the provisions of the Electoral Act 2018.
Equally of great importance to Nigerian electoral process are the following key areas also addressed by this bill. 1. Failure of card reader, section 49(3). Where a smart card reader deployed for accreditation of voters failed to function in any unit and a fresh card reader is not deployed, the election in that unit shall be cancelled and another election shall be scheduled within 24 hours. B. 2. Section 87(12). Where a primary election is conducted and duly attended and certified by the Commission in compliance with this Act, and the result is subsequently altered by a political party, the Commission shall have powers to overrule the alteration made by the political party and uphold such primaries. No individual or other entity shall donate to a candidate more than 10 million naira.
His report elicits reaction from other lawmakers, but the bill eventually passes second reading.
So long as the entity or the individual earns his money legitimately, I don't see why somebody should be limited to what he can donate.
But not a situation where someone comes on my election day and says, my name is not well spelled, the party's name is not well done, and then I could now use that as an excuse to postpone the election.
The Electoral Committee assures that the issues raised by President Muhammadu Buhari, while declining assent to the initial bill, would be addressed. Meanwhile, the Appropriation Committee met with the security agencies that will be involved in the 2019 general elections to harmonize their budget's figures and report back to the Senate. Following the conclusion of its meeting the previous day, on Thursday, the Senate Appropriation Committee chairman laid the report of the committee on the Independent National Electoral Commission budget for the 2019 elections before the Senate. From his presentation, there is an obvious reduction of about 7.9 billion naira from the 242.45 billion naira requested by President Muhammadu Buhari for the 2019 elections.
This will bring the total budget for ANEC in the 2018 Appropriation Act to 234,507,272,393 naira.
He also makes recommendations which are in line with those of the Electoral Committee on how the funds should be sourced.
The committee wishes to recommend 1. That the sum of 143,312,256,955 naira 13 kobo recommended by annual committee, and the additional sum of 45,695,015,438 naira, totaling 189,007,272,303 naira be approved as part of the development of the 2018 budget. That the sum of 189,7,272,393 naira requested for the funding of the 2019 general elections should be varied from both recurrent and capital components of the Special Intervention Program captured in the service-wide vote of the 2018 Appropriation Act as shown below, and be added to the sum of 45.5 billion provided for ANEC in the statutory transfers. This will bring the total budget for ANEC in the 2018 Appropriation Act to 234,507,272,393 naira.
Before the report was approved, there were observations, one of which is that the report does not contain the budget for security agencies that will be involved in the elections.
And now that the issue of the INEC is settled, and we are told that the Committee on Appropriation will be meeting with the security agency this afternoon, and this being an interim report, I would like to suggest respectfully that both this report and the report of the request of the security agency be consolidated into one report. More so when it came as a single request from the president, so that we'll have a single report next week.
We took the issue of INEC budget separately because of the importance. So therefore, since taken separately because of the importance, we should not say we wait until the other agency's budget is ready or is passed. I suggest that we should pass this budget for INEC immediately.
The total budget of INEC in the 2018 budget to 234,507,272,393. Those in favor of recommendation 2 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The Appropriations Committee eventually met with the security agencies that are expected to take part in the 2019 general elections. The committee is expected to present its report next week.
2007 to 2017.
Meanwhile, in the House of Representatives, the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2018 has passed the first reading.